Hi, welcome back to what I want to eat right now. What I want to eat right now is a southern apple cake. And I found two recipes which are very, very close on Food 52 website, which I really like. And we're going to make one of them. They're both really close. We're going to go with TEDDIE'S apple cake. And so what we're starting off with is 2 cups of sugar. Now, I'm using coconut sugar, which I like a lot. And the reason I like coconut sugar is because it's lower on the glycemic index, so it's a little healthier. It's better for you, and it's not as it doesn't have as much of a sort of upfront flavor. It's a much more subtle flavor, which I like. So I'm starting off with that. If you want to use brown sugar, you can use brown sugar. You could use white sugar, or you could use a combination of the two. I'm using coconut sugar. I really like it. You might want to try it. It's really great. Okay, and to that I'm adding 1.5 cups of melted coconut oil. Now, you can use any kind of oil you like. You could use corn oil, you could use canola oil, you could use any kind of vegetable oil. I don't know if I'd use olive oil, except if you used maybe not an extra virgin, just a regular olive oil, so that might even be a little too much. And you could also use butter if you wanted, but that'd be a lot of butter. But coconut oil is really healthy, so the cake is going to have sort of a healthy kind of feel to it. So I'm adding 1.5 cups of coconut oil, and I'm going to blend this for about 5 minutes. And I'm going to get out a little bit of whatever's left in there. So this is going to mix for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to add in the eggs. Okay, the sugar and oil is in here mixing. I'm going to add in 3 eggs that are at room temperature. And you want to let that mix until that gets really creamy. Okay, this looks really nice and creamy now. And so I'm going to stop this. And I'm now going to sift together. So what I've got here is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, I happen to be making this a gluten-free version, so I have a gluten-free flour, but for all-purpose, you're going to use exactly the same. 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, for the gluten-free version, I've added about 4 teaspoons of guar gum, but for regular all-purpose, just 3 cups all-purpose flour. To that, you're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of salt. And all of that's going to come right in here, and we're going to use a whisk to sift that all together. So you can see, I'm just taking a whisk and mixing all of that up so it just gets evenly incorporated in here. Trying not to get it all over the table, which is, for me, not that easy. Okay, so this is now going to get added into this luscious coconut sugar, coconut oil, egg mixture. I'm going to use this and just very slowly kind of add it in so it can get nicely incorporated, it doesn't sort of get all over the place either. Okay, so the flour has been incorporated, and now we're going to add in raisins, the walnuts, and the apples. And I've got 3 cups of chopped apples here. I cooked these up a little bit in advance, but you don't need to. You can just, depending on what kind of apple you have, just slice them really thinly, peel them, and just put them right on in. So this is 3 cups apples that are going in there. Okay. And that is going to get mixed around. And to that I'm going to add a cup of raisins. And you'll see this cake has so much fruit and nuts and it's really fantastic. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is, because it's getting really high up there, is I'm going to scrape down the sides. This is like a really full, and it's a pretty thick batter. Because there's a lot of, as I said, there's like between the raisins and the apples, and now we're going to add in walnuts, and I'm going to actually probably do that with the mixer stopped. Now, if you don't have a mixer, you can do this by hand, or you can do it with a hand mixer. You can mix the sugar and the oil together with a hand mixer, and then you can add in the flour, whatever, all with a hand mixer. You do not need to have a big fancy mixer. I happen to have this one handy, and so I'm using it, but you don't really need to have that. And now I'm going to just mix all that up as well as I can, as good as I can. I don't know, my English teacher would kill me. Okay, so I have finished mixing this all up as good as can be mixed. It looks like a really chunky, thick, but delish batter. And what we're going to do now is take it out of here and get it into a pan. Now, you could use a bundt pan if you like. I'm using this other kind of cake pan. It's probably more of an angel kind of cake pan, angel food cake pan. I don't really like bundt pans for some reason. I don't have one, and so I'm using this. It'll be fine. It'll work out really well. You couldn't use like a regular cake pan unless you put it into two. Actually, I wouldn't even do that. You need to have some sort of larger cake pan because it's a bigger batter, etc. So I'm going to take this now and I'm putting it into a buttered and floured, which you can sort of see I've done here, pan. And just trying to spread it out evenly. This is going to be a real... It's not going to be easy. It's a very thick batter, but I think it's going to be a really delicious cake. I've made this before and it's been really, really great. And I'm sure you're going to really like it. I took this to a party and the people that I gave it to just loved it. So I think it's a really, I think it's a good cake. It's not even good, it's great. I love it. What happens is, it gets kind of a caramely taste. And I think it turns out really great. And whatever's left, you're going to want to have for breakfast because it's so good. And then what I would try and do is, since it's a really thick batter, as I said, and it's coming in here like in just clumps, I try and sort of get it to, kind of go down. I push it down. I wouldn't put down too much because you want to allow the air to be in there, but I would sort of even off the top as much as possible, and all right. Now what's going to emerge is going to be something really great. You're really going to like it. I think this is one of my favorite cakes. I'm not even from the South, and I happen to like apples though. But you're going to really like it. So this is now going into a 350-degree oven for an hour and 15 minutes. And keep an eye on it. If the top gets too brown towards the end, you might want to put a piece of foil loosely over it to sort of tent it a little bit so that you can make sure that it doesn't get too brown. But I think it's going to be great, and you'll see. It'll take a while because it's a really dense cake too. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff in here, as I said. But okay, 350, hour and 15, and we'll see you back in a bit. You're gonna really, really like this. The cake has just come out of the oven. The house smells fantastic. Oh my God, I cannot wait to dive into this. It looks and smells fantastic. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit, then I'm gonna take it out of the pan, out of the cake pan, and get ready to serve it. So it looks amazing. I hope you try this. Thanks for joining Teddy's Apple Cake. I know you're gonna love it. It's so, 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 so great. See you next time. Thanks. If you like this episode, click like on it on the side over there, and if you want to come back for more, click subscribe and you'll be notified of when there's new episodes coming. And the recipe is going to be down below. And see you next time. Thanks.